There are over 3,000 active landfills in the United States, but over 10,000 old municipal landfills. These hold 150 million tons of waste that are landfilled every year, equivalent to filling 489 football stadiums to the top. As we keep growing as a society, we continue producing more and more waste. It's important that we have a plan on how to deal with this waste, as landfill space is a limited and valuable resource. While many products like plastic and aluminum can be easily recycled if they go through the correct process, there are other materials such as organic matter that require attention because they can't be directly recycled. These organic materials will be the focus of Farm to Flame's program. We want to teach you where they come from and how they can best be managed. Yard trimmings, branches, and leaves are also feedstocks that end up in landfills. Landscaping companies typically work non-stop from March until December, a single landscaping company collecting upwards of 10 tons of biomass waste every day. In a city like Atlantic City, it is expected that more than 200,000 tons of yard trimmings and landscaping waste are produced every year. Mulching and composting are great mechanisms that are currently helping landfills to deal with this waste. However, many times, the supply of yard trimmings exceeds the amount of mulch and compost a specific city can take. Natural disasters are also an important source of biomass waste streams into the landfill. Whenever floods occur or harsh storms, the wind causes damage to trees, which can then cause further destruction. It can be hard for landfills to manage the abrupt spike in biomass waste streams that come with natural disasters. It typically requires a community plan to recover from these. It's important that there is a plan in place on how to deal with the streams in order to incentivize the proliferation of urban forest. We don't want cities to not put urban forest because they are worried of the burden that damaged trees can cause for the cities. It can be hard to wrap our heads around the amount of construction and demolition waste that there is in the United States. There is a yearly production around 600 million tons of construction and demolition debris just last year. This is more than twice the total amount of municipal solid waste that is produced in the United States. 90% of the construction and demolition waste comes from demolition operations, meaning that most of this C&D happens when replacing old structures for new structures. About 1/3 of all the construction and demolition waste produced in the United States ends up in landfills. And so although there have been strides made towards reducing the amount of C&D waste, it is still imperative that we address the remaining third. Lastly, paper and cardboard. This type of waste is commonly found within residential municipal solid waste streams and single stream recycling. Paper and cardboard that is not introduced in recycling bins is typically very hard to deal with because of the complications that come with separating them from the rest of the materials. It is important that as a community, we take part in the city's recycling efforts to ensure that more of the paper and cardboard is correctly separated from the beginning so that we don't burden our landfills with products that can have a second life. By utilizing and repurposing biomass waste streams, we are able to prevent conversion to methane and other toxic emissions. These greenhouse gases that are created after the material decomposes are a lot more damaging than the emissions created if they would be correctly burned. Currently, for each 50 pounds of biomass waste streams that decompose in landfills, there is an equivalent greenhouse gas emission of driving a car from Atlantic City to Miami. However, if these 50 pounds of waste are instead pre-treated and safely burned, it will reduce the emission levels equivalent to shortening the trip from Atlantic City to Philadelphia. Farm to Flame does exactly this. We have found a way to correctly pre-treat these biomass waste streams so that they are used before their decomposition process. By correctly burning them, we are not only preventing the release of methane, but we are also displacing the use of other fossil fuels.